Get away. Get away.
Here we go, New Orleans. I'm super excited. So right across the street from the hotel I was staying, the Pavilion, there was orbs all over the front entrance. For those who believe, I know that that's not for everyone. And then I did see this white line as well. And then I took a walk around the town, and I'm so excited. And this is the ghost tour that I did. So the first spot that I went to eat at is the Blue Bayou, which was really delicious. I love their food there. It was really good. A little pricey, but I was really excited to try gumbo and jambalaya and all that. And this is just the 3 bowls, so I'm able to sample them all. And the shrimp po' boy with some fries, and we got some frozen drinks as well. That they were really delicious. And now we're just gonna go scroll around town, and I'm just excited to see all the new stuff. Everything new to me. This is a trolley, and I actually did go inside the trolley. This was really cool as well. So I'm back at my hotel, and this is the Jury Hotel. This is definitely creepy, and I do have stories. This is the elevator, which I wanted to share with you guys. And I'm gonna take you to see my room, a little room tour. So just sit back and relax. So I'll just tell you guys a little story while I share with you my room that I stood at. One of the nights that I stood here, I was in the bathroom doing my makeup, and I heard someone knock on my door. I thought that it was my husband, so I told him, hold on. And I really tried my best to hurry up and do my makeup so that he can use the bathroom, or, you know, whatever it was. And as soon as I finished, I obviously opened the door. I did not see him standing waiting for the bathroom, so I said okay. I went to the living room, and he was laying on the couch, which is, you'll see it's right in front of me, that couch right there up against the wall. And I told him, I finished with the bathroom, you can go ahead and use it. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, you knocked on the door. And he's like, why are you lying? And I said, no, I am not lying. Didn't you hear me say, hold on? So next story about this closet right here. Every time we would go out, have any outings, when we would come back to our hotel room, that closet door was always open. The door to your right in that closet. So I did experience different stuff, and you'll see in the pictures, you know, different things. This is just my personal story, and you know, I know some people believe, some don't, but I definitely could tell you there's a lot of energy out here. So the ghost tour started here at the New Orleans Pharmacy Museum, which has a lot of history. Definitely recommend you take a tour when you're in New Orleans. We did do a tour which was awesome. It was the Yellow Fever tour, and I do show a pamphlet, so I'll let you know when I get to that.
Because that year, at a rate of about 10% of the population within the first year alone. So you can bet Blackberry that they get their hands also did nothing to protect DeFillo or his family. And 3 of his 7 children. And it was around that time he felt that New Orleans had given him all his offer. So he sells this building in 1857 to Jonathan Dupont. He still didn't have any shortage of clientele here, or test subjects, I'm sure. And in his time here, the man made a pretty comfortable living for himself. Pretty comfortable dying for himself. Because he died comfy enough in his own bed. This building, especially on that second balcony, that alleyway, as well as on either side at his neighbors, and even across at the Omni. He gets around. It's going to be pretty aggressive too, what that's worth. He might still be looking for test subjects for all we know.
So we arrived at Jackson Square. Just a little tip to take your tour around 6:30 because it starts to transition from light to dark, and it's really cool. So now this is Jackson Square Park, but back then there was a lot of public executions throughout the 18th and early 19th centuries. This was the site where public executions took place. So the next building that you see, this one right here, is called the Cabildo. It was used as an army barracks during the Civil War and later was the Louisiana Supreme Court. Many apparitions have been seen here around the 2nd floor. This is the St. Louis Cathedral. It's the oldest cathedral in the United States. The ground beneath the cathedral is the burial place for many of the early church members. There are many more than 100 people buried beneath the floor and pews of the church. So definitely a place where you want to take a look. Definitely come over here, take videos, take pictures, and see if you catch anything. And just for the history. So that spot right there is located on the side of Jackson Square, as you can see. And we're just going to go take a look at the town, and I'm just going to take pictures and videos. So apparitions have been reported in this hotel. They see a woman wearing a fancy dress. And yeah, there's like all these hotels and all these places, I'll be honest with you, there's so many reports of apparitions. The next spot is the Ursuline Convent, the story of the Casket Girls, where a few women arrived by a sailing ship. Many believed they were vampires. The nuns of the convent sought to contain the evil in the attic of their convent, sealing them in 800 silver nails, each blessed by the Pope. Since then, the attic and the vampires have been locked away, as legend says. There are a lot of vampire sightings and stories left behind in the French Quarter and in the city. So it also was the home of orphanage kids as well who died mysteriously. So fun facts is that many of the scenes of the movie Interview with the Vampire was filmed in New Orleans. So that was really cool to hear. Our next stop is Delphine Lalaurie. This is the mansion of Delphine Lalaurie, which is known as one of the most haunted mansions in New Orleans. She is also known as one of the first female serial killers in America. A lot of people died in her home. It was a real house of horrors. Worst torture chambers that you can imagine. Cruelty beyond human belief. A lot of paranormal activities are felt and seen. Delphine had started to abuse and torture her enslaved workers. She was kind to enslaved people in public and had even freed 2 of them. She made life in the mansion a living nightmare. 2 people she enslaved even jumped to their death from the mansion's roof rather than face her brutality. But the extent of Delphine Laurie's cruelty remained just a rumor until April 1834. When a sudden fire in the house broke out and revealed all her secrets. In the attic above the kitchen, the first responders found a group of imprisoned enslaved people. Many have been gruesomely tortured with their broken bones, their eyes gouged out, and worse. Upon entering one of the apartments, were seen 7 slaves, more or less horribly mutilated, were seen suspended by the neck with their limbs apparently stretched and torn, one extremity to the other. They have been confined by her for several months and had been merely kept in existence to prolong their suffering.
The fire roaring. So they break her chain, they're getting her out of there, but she fights these men. She says, please, no, just let me stay here. Let me emaciated, skeletal, some chained up with dislocated shoulders, maggots eating into the...
The Cornstalk Hotel. The iconic fence itself has been said to have strong paranormal energy. This little cozy inn seems to have a few ghostly residents as well. Much of the activity reported here has come from room 103. In this room, guests have reported the television turning on and off, and that the hot and cold water fully turning on by itself. Other guests have reported hearing children's laughter and the sound of children playing throughout the home when there are obviously no children present. Mostly oddly, guests have reported a strange sound during their stay. Several guests have reported returning home and finding pictures on their cameras that were taken of them while sleeping in a room with a securely locked door, sometimes from above or other impossible angles.
Home. And right off the bat, I'm going to let you know, not the original structure. It has been torn down and rebuilt. The original home that stood there was your typical cottage-style cabin, made out of wood, that encompassed about half of the double wide that's now there. It was a lot tinier.
This is the house of Marie Laveau. This is where her grandmother raised her, and Marie Laveau went on to raise her own family in the same home. And not only did she raise her family in this cottage, but also it was her workspace and a safe haven for many in need. Until this day, people leave offerings in front of the windows and doors, from scrunchies to pieces of hair and anything you can think of.
For a full generation, we're well and ingratiated initially and fiscally, and we're even able to pass down a few familial beliefs and practices for their comfort to the point.
This is the next day. I look out the window and I see like this floating little white object, and then I see a green orb as well. I took pictures outside of my hotel room. Also, there was a lot of changes of temperature in my hotel room. It was getting extremely cold. I had to raise the temperature at 75 and it was still cold. This was like the elevator outside. I just decided to take pictures before we got in the trolley, just because I was feeling different energy. And this is on our way to the French market. This is the French market, and they have really nice things that, you know, you can buy. They have voodoo dolls and real gator heads and just a whole bunch of souvenirs that you can take back home. So we decided to go to Loretta's. This is the line to Loretta's. They sell beignets, and I suggest that one of you stay in line. If you're with 2 people or more, somebody go grab a table and the other person make the line. I definitely recommend the praline beignet. Oh my goodness, you guys, so delicious. What it looks like. And it has a lot of confetti sugar. So delicious. The praline is on the top, and I did take a bite so you guys could see it. So delicious. So now we're headed to do a tour to St. Louis Cemetery number 1, and this is the oldest existing cemetery in the city, dating back to 1789. The cemetery is known for their above ground tombs, which reflect both New Orleans high water and the French heritage. Also, Marie Laveau is buried here. So this is Nicolas Cage's pyramid tomb. He is currently alive. In 2010, Nicolas Cage purchased 2 plots in the cemetery, using one to construct this pyramid mausoleum.
check with cottage, which is 3 feet below the cement. That center. And then in 1974, they built the Louisiana Superdome.
This is Marie Laveau's tomb site, and I had this feeling that like there was a lot of energy there. Also, the X's are said to be made by people who want something. They want a wish, and if you put 3 X's, she grants them, but you have to come back and leave her an offering. If not, something bad can happen. There's again a lot of history and a lot of different things and stories, so this is her place of rest. Is Marie Laveau's home. I did visit during the day just to see, you know, the details and what it looks like during the daytime. Here's the next place, Bloody Mary's Haunted Museum, and it was definitely interesting to see that, say the least. So there's going to be some times that I just have music or I leave the original audio is because I heard something weird and unexplainable. So I'll just have the original audio. If not, I'll just put music because I didn't hear anything and, you know, just for, you know, the video purposes. Also, some of the pictures are clear and then some come out blurry. I'm not sure why, because when I was taking the pictures, they did look clear. And then now that I'm looking back at my pictures, most of them are blurry. Well, some of them are a little fuzzy and blurry. Again, I can't explain it. I'm not even sure what that means, but I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a heads up that you might see some blurry pictures. So now I made it up the stairs where Zach and Abby lived, and I'll let you know one thing, that this doll definitely had a lot of energy. I didn't feel easy being around this doll and mannequin, excuse me. And so we're gonna take a tour, and I do suggest, if you'd like to find out more about the Abbie and Zach story, definitely go ahead and check it out. There was a major crime that happened in New Orleans, and it was very disturbing, their case. So we're going to walk into the kitchen, and this is the actual crime site of Abbie. This is where Zach unalived her at, and he dismembered his girlfriend. At first, he dismembered her in the bathroom, which we will get there soon, in the bathtub. And then he put some pieces of her body into that refrigerator. And then he did cook some of her body parts on the stove. And this is their kitchen. Definitely had some weird energy here. This is the bathroom, and we're going to take a look at the bathtub. This is where he dismembered her body at. Lots of weird energy. And over here, I don't know what happened. It looks like my foot disappeared. And there's like a weird line. So I originally took a picture of the yarn, which is by the staircase on the lower left step. If you see, it's between the rail, and I captured what looks like a face. So this is up close, and I think that this really looks like a face. You can pause and check this out for yourself. I do see an image. If you see something, let me know. It looks blurry. It looks like, you know, a man or something looking at me, and this really terrified me. This doll as well, she had like a lot of like energy. I was really scared going down the stairs. I had like a bad feeling. And when I left the place, I also did hear footsteps behind me, which I immediately felt weird. This is La Pavilion Hotel, which is one of the most haunted hotels. And there was a paranormal investigation. And during that time that they investigated, they claimed that they caught nearly 100 entities during the night that they stayed. It is also known for hauntings, for different feelings that you get there. Guests say that in the 9th floor, there's a lot of heavy activity, and that this hotel is the portal to the other side, which is a little creepy to know because I was actually staying across the street from this hotel in the Drury Hotel. So there's a lot of activity. So if you want to feel something, or you want to go to one of the most haunted hotels, definitely stay here. Guests have said that they felt someone touching them. They felt people in the corner of their bed, and I just had to go to the hotel for myself to see if I felt something. And this place felt like it had so much energy, and I was definitely a little creeped out. Everything looks really, you know, creepy. I don't know if it's the look they're going for, but just to know that there's so much entities here was something I definitely wanted to go and check out for myself. Yes, I know. Some of the entities that they have described are the 1920s couple, which you can definitely see them in room 221. There's also a ghost of a girl and the prankster. dates back to the late 1700s, and some clairvoyants say that many troubled spirits reside here. In 1814, the beloved owner was playing a poker game and decided to put his home up in the game. During that one poker game, he lost and had to give up the one thing he treasured the most in this life. The shock of the loss was so intense that before having to vacate the premises and hand over his beloved treasure, he tragically unalived himself on the second floor in the same area where the seance lounges are today, which is what you are seeing right now. This is where it took place. And when you enter, there's about 3 rooms, and they're all connected to the seance room, and you can definitely feel that you are not alone. There's a lot of heavy energy going on, and each room feels different. I noticed that the middle room was really, really cold, extremely cold. Hotel Monteleone. We will get to this hotel right now. During an investigation of the paranormal research, they have found that over a dozen entities live there. Ghosts who walk around, one employee that died of natural causes. Also, there is a child, a little boy that likes to play pranks on the 14th floor. And also it seems that his parents were frequent guests of the hotel. And there is a lot of things that happen here.